Now, President William Ruto has assented to the supplementary appropriation bill presented by the Parliamentary Budget Committee, putting into effect adjustments to fiscal plans for this financial year's budget. The expenditure changes will see to the addition of more than 200 billion shillings to the initial budget, which would cater to debt obligations that incurred extra charges from the depreciation of the Kenyan shilling. Now, this hike will mean a hike to the cost of living, which will be expected for Kenyans. And as the government insists on pushing its no-loan agenda, this is what it means for you. Take a look.
Despite a marginal slowdown of the more severe freefall of the shilling, the Kenyan currency is still performing poorly against the greenback, with competing East African currencies, for the first time in history, gaining an advantage over the Kenyan shilling.
The reason why we are making this supplementary budget, number one, is to take care of debts, repayment, and especially interest rate repayment.
The bill anchors the administration's fiscal consolidation plan by rationalizing the appropriations made in financial year 2023-2024 budget.
So what are the implications on your pockets? The supplementary budget, which aims to formally approve expenditures that have already been spent, will also see to the upcharge of the initial financial budget by hundreds of billions of shillings.
From the time we read our budget in June to date, we have had to revise our interest repayment by 145 billion Kenya shillings.
With the National Assembly having discharged its law-making mandate, Your Excellency, as the head of state and government, is most graciously invited to exercise your presidential prerogative as vested in you by Article 115 of the Constitution to assent to these three pieces of legislation.
With the Kenya Kwanza government adopting a living within our means working principle, the only means to fill this deficit would be widening the taxation net.
Just imagine that. And it was one of the big issues that I really wanted to sort out.
The bill does come with major wins in terms of funding for the agricultural sector, especially in funding the ongoing sugar sector reforms. Other wins from the bill includes the education sector, especially for the infrastructure for junior secondary schools, and ASALs and regional development sector to cater for interventions, including flood mitigation efforts and emergency relief assistance. However, these expenditures have adjusted net lending against GDP by 1.4%. Hibak Said for TV 47.